Welcome, drone video fans. My name is Bill, and in this video we're going to take a look at the shoreline erosion project that's going on now in Geneva on the lake, right by the township park, which has lost, I would say, over 100 feet of shoreline due to erosion by the lake. What you're looking at right now is Lake Erie, and this part that we're flying over right now is an area that is mostly finished, but we're going to turn to the east here and get a look at some of the work. Now, this video was shot a couple weeks ago, and since then I've been down there and observed their progress, and they've made quite a bit of progress since this video was shot, so I'll try to bring you up to speed on those changes. When you can see how far back the lake has sort of eroded into this front face of this cliff, or the shoreline here of the Geneva Township Park. As I said, about 100 feet of the land has been lost, and that includes not only trees but benches and that were in there, and walkways, cement concrete walkways, and all sorts of things have been, the erosion just ate away at this face, because the level of Lake Erie is up, and then you get the wave action, and then the most severe erosion comes during the winter time. So they had to get money in order to get this project underway first, and that's why the township of Geneva on the Lake held a special election, or not a special election, but they put a levy on their ballot to for a small amount of millage in order to raise funds to be able to do this, because I believe it's the cost is like $1.5 million. So the money had to come from somewhere, and that's how they raised it. So that levy was actually last year, and during this year when I was riding my bike down here during the summertime, I didn't see anything going on. I didn't see any work being done, and finally in like September I saw them bringing all kinds of equipment in here, and I stopped one of the park rangers, and he kind of explained to me what had been going on, and I said that, don't you think he's starting a little bit late, considering that winter's right around the corner? And he says, well, what their main thrust is to get these big boulders and protect the shoreline first for the winter, and then they're hoping to get it finished by April of 2021. And I says, well, don't you think that's a bit optimistic? But they are working on it, and they have actually made quite a bit of progress. We're going to back up here a little bit away from the shore now. You see those big boulders? Those boulders, I think, are basalt, and they're quarried on the west side of Ohio and have to be driven all the way across the state over here and dumped. And they're brought down, and they use these big front-end loaders to put them in position. Now they got the whole first layer all the way back up to where you see it's sloping back up. That whole area is finished as of the last time I was down there, and they got the rocks all in place, and it looks pretty good. So it looks like they're going to have like a stepped and tiered, 2 or 3 tiered level in order to prevent the erosion from getting bad. But at least they've got the first layer in, and that should prevent them from losing any more shoreline over the winter. We're just kind of sidling over here to the west side. You can see one of the big pieces of rock moving equipment up there, that big I don't want to call it a dump truck, but essentially it's just a huge dump truck. It's got huge tires on it that are probably 6 or 8 feet tall. You see that that ramp that's coming down. That's what it goes down. I was amazed that it was able to bring down rocks. And then there's in the back you see some kind of a crane picking up the rocks and stacking them up, and then that guy loads them into that loader, and he drives them down here, and then there's another piece of equipment down here that kind of puts them in place. So they've been going at this since let's see, this is towards the end, probably a little over a month now, and the way that they've done this, you see some black sheeting there. That's actually some rubber sheeting, and I'll explain that as I go along here. You can see we're going to move in here a little bit, and you can see the coordinated effort between the different pieces of equipment. He's going to kind of smooth out the area, because what happens is that a big huge truck comes in with a lot of these 5-ton boulders on it, and it makes big ruts over there. So after he leaves, the other smaller loader comes and smooths out the ground. But we're going to look down here, and you can see that black rubber sheeting. What that does is, from what I gathered, is as the waves come breaking over the rocks, they can seep down to lower levels. So what they've put, that sheeting underneath, and they put a little soil on top, and then they put the rocks on top of that, so that when the water breaks over the rocks, it doesn't undermine the foundation of this entire project. It's supposed to, because if the water just went down through the rocks, it would undermine all the soil and everything that's underneath all those rocks, and they would probably get washed away or moved or something like that. So by putting down those layers of rubber sheeting, and they're sloped back towards the lake, so that when the water breaks up onto the rocks, it hits that rubber sheeting and then is redirected back out into the lake. And here's one of the pieces of equipment that's positioning rocks. You see a guy there standing on one of those rocks to give you a size comparison. I think here shortly we're going to jump to 2x just to get a little bit of a zoom in. The guy with that piece of equipment is trying to move that roll of rubber sheeting, but he's not going to be very successful at it. So the guy in the orange shirt is going to help him out here. What you see there is the picnic pavilion there, and it slopes down to like a walkway, and that entire walkway, we were at 2x and now we're back to 1x. That entire walkway has been undermined, so they had it sort of roped off for the most part during the year. Now this guy with this piece of equipment gets stuck over here, so he reaches his bucket out and uses it to pull himself off of the pile of rocks and get going. And then the guy in the orange jacket there is going to straighten out the rubber. So as I said, while they, since I did this shoot, that whole area where you see the piece of equipment and where they were laying down that rubber, that whole section is done now with the large rocks, and they've got that all done. We're gonna fly down here towards the end where it's somewhat completed. You'll be able to see this is the pathway here, and I stopped here to take a look at them piling some more rocks over there. But we're going to go down to the extreme west end of where they started to work, sort of where we took off from, to give you an idea. And you can see how the rocks are piled up over there, and not only that, but you see the graded slope. And I believe that they're going to be planting grass on the slopes, but that probably won't take place until the springtime. So the work continues, and I may take another run out there as long as the weather is pretty decent. They'll be working on this and trying to get this finished. I always enjoy watching these kind of projects, and this is just another one. So we've come back to launch point, and as usual, what I usually do here is sort of come in and then wait. When I get close, I swing it around and turn and back it in so that my obstacle avoidance sensors don't give me any hassle when I try to land. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, leave them below. We appreciate you sticking by during this difficult season for shooting video. Come back again soon and enjoy these videos and these scenes that we finally get a chance to shoot.